William. Ato in Juba, Malatori, hey, yo, in Ping William. Ato in Benti, wala kwaju, hey, wow, in Ping William. Ato in Malkal, wala Pinyaram, in Ping William.
Welcome to Lagos State Media today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever you are tuning in. You are watching Lagos State live with the honorable guest, Acuil Malith Banggol, and the host will be Abraham Madin Majak, and all our viewers in the clubhouse and also in the Facebook and YouTube. Please share the video. We will be listen to the presentation from the Honorable Acuil Malith Banggol. We'll yield the microphone to the host of the show, Abraham Madid, to give our guests 1 minute of greeting the audience. And I will be controlling the clubhouse down there. Thank you so much. Welcome, Honorable Acuil. Abraham Madid, I yield you the mic. Hear yourself, Abraham.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. Can you mute yourself, Isaac? Okay. I think let me close. Okay, Isaac, I mute myself in Clubhouse.
Okay.
It's still doing an echo sound.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So let me welcome to our Honorable Acuil Malith Banggol for you guys in Lex Media, Facebook and YouTube and Clubhouse. People would like you to share this show. This will be an important show. Let me give this chance to Honorable Acuil Malith to give his open remark before we dive into our conversation. Honorable Acuil Malith, welcome.
Thank you, Lagos State Media. I am very much pleased to be given such an opportunity, your time, your resources, your mental energy and thoughts, to give me a chance to be able to share my views. Before everything, I'm not an economist by training, though I have some little idea about, if not science, in university when I did my agriculture degree. Nevertheless, I have two advantages. I did some political economics, and also I am an entrepreneur by practice. Seeing the situation we are in and having accepted this nomination and appointment by the leadership, I see there is a chance for me to share my ideas. But the most important thing, I am convinced that what is lacking in our situation today is to translate the liberation ideals which are put in the constitution and which are repeated by our leaders, and upon which our hope has been attached, so that actually when we talk of liberation dividends, we are talking of concrete things that we know have been expressed in the constitution and we need only to translate them from the constitution into programs and results so that we enjoy what we have been fighting for. And therefore, I accepted this assignment uh, with the dedication to do what I think is the right thing. And that's why I'm sharing it. If it is not the right thing, then I should be told what is the right thing to do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Acuil. Let me put up your presentation that you will speak about. Let me bring this one up here. Okay. So for those of you today, we are talk about the amendments bills for 2023 to 2024. So, Honorable, can you walk us through for this budgeting to let the people of South Sudan know what is our government is doing for the bill of 2023 to 2024? So,
Okay.
yeah.
There is a slide number 3, I think. Can you go down? No, go down. Yeah. No, that one. Okay. The intended amendment bills, which I have reflected in the title, are the Bank of South Sudan Amendment Bill 2023 and the Banking Amendment Bill 2023 and the Finance and Appropriation Amendment Bill 2023. Now, the Finance and Appropriation Amendment Bill 2023 has already been legislated along the budget. So we are left with the 2 amendment bills. And what are these 2 amendment bills? The current leadership of the Bank of South Sudan have already realized that the Bank of South Sudan Act 2021 did not include 5 aspects of the mission of the Bank of South Sudan. And these 5 aspects, we have 1 which is contained of 3, which is financial inclusion policies. And these financial inclusion policies is microfinance, small and medium enterprises, and large scale enterprises. The small and large scale enterprises have been addressed in the South Sudan Companies Act 2012. Now, the Banking Amendment Bill is amending the South Sudan Banking Act 2011. The Banking Act 2011 is actually missing the same 5 things that I have just mentioned. Now, when I say 5, it is the 3 that I mentioned them with regards to financial inclusion policies. But what are the other 2? The other 2 is that the Bank of South Sudan has not mentioned how it should be related to international financial transactions. So globally, there is Bank for International Settlement. So South Sudan has to be a member of the Bank of International Settlement. That is number 4. Number 5 is that sovereign guarantee, which is actually, first of all, guaranteeing the South Sudanese pound, is not mentioned in the act. Now, likewise, any interaction or loan or any finance payment system cannot be done except if the international payment system is aware that Bank of Sudan is not only acting based on the act, but it is backed by sovereign guarantee. So it is these 5 things that could enable our commercial banks, indigenous or international commercial bank in South Sudan, to be exploring the mission of the Bank of South Sudan through Bank for International Settlement, for the Bank of South Sudan to write a letter of credit for any entrepreneur who has brought a collateral to a commercial bank in Juba or any of its branch abroad, confirmed by Bank of South Sudan, and therefore the 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 the, bank, the commercial bank in Juba, and this is can you move to there was a slide of some stars. Can you move down? Move, go, go. No. Yeah. Yes, this one. So the red one is our commercial bank. So the blue one is the South Sudan market. In the South Sudan market, we have entrepreneurs who are interested in importing or exporting goods or in importing a manufacturing material. So they have to engage the commercial bank in the rate, and the commercial bank in the rate have to notify the Bank of South Sudan of the desired interaction. The Bank of South Sudan will inform the Bank of International Settlement for International Settlement, BIS, and BIS will notify the corresponding bank of the South Sudan Commercial Bank. Now, the South Sudan Commercial Bank will notify the supplier or the manufacturer so that they inform their corresponding bank in the star in the middle to verify that the order is protected by sovereign guarantee and it is backed by Bank of South Sudan, guaranteed by Bank for International Settlement. Now the goods will be released through will be released by the bank, by the supplier, by the manufacturer, and the goods will arrive to the port of entry in South Sudan. When these things are cleared, then they will come to South Sudan. Now it depends on the model of the agreement, either based on payment upon delivery, or if there is a period given to us to the South Sudan market, the entrepreneur in South Sudan market. So this aspect has been missing in South Sudan Bank Act 2011. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, what about? Can you tell us more about the exchange rate between South Sudanese pound and dollars? Why is
Okay.
it? Yeah, why the dollars? Why is it dollars and going high at the black market and at the central bank?
There are many things, but two major things is
Mhm.
number one, first of all, we have dollarized, mentally dollarized our economy. You can hear a minister talking that the budget is that they are requesting 100 million or 50,000 or $10,000 to implement something in South Sudan. So psychologically already we, we have this problem. The other aspect is the nature of our operations. The foreigners who are bringing their goods to South Sudan, they are bringing their goods to South Sudan based on their home guarantees and they are central bank home guarantees. So they actually don't need pounds to do international market. Therefore, they are asking for a dollar, and therefore, psychologically, the South Sudan pound is not a trusted currency. So the demand on the dollar is very big. Okay, many of us came from outside South Sudan. Our children were in abroad when they were studying. For example, how many years I just had my last son or daughter who was in East Africa has just come in last year only. What has I been? What have I been selling to acquire the dollar to maintain their living standard or pay for their schooling in Kenya? I was my family and my lifestyle were dollarized. So the circumstances suggest that. Besides, the Bank of South Sudan was not working through commercial banks; it was working through forex. So the system in the Bank of South Sudan had relied very much on selling dollars in officially or unofficial way. So the only thing that is going to control are these two aspects. That you don't need a dollar if you are in Konya Konya or in any part of South Sudan. You don't need a dollar to import goods. You need your pound or your collateral, give it to the commercial bank, and the commercial bank will use its deposit and guarantees with the Bank of South Sudan, and the process will go on without cash being exchanged until the consumer start paying. That is where you will see. So you will only be seeing South Sudanese pound. You will not be in need of a dollar. If you have Eritrean, Ethiopian, South Sudanese, Somali, Kenya, Ugandan, Kawaja is bringing goods to South Sudan, he or she doesn't need a dollar. It is only the payment system. So when the Bank of South Sudan is set to lead the payment system, which is being established.
Honorable, can you push a little bit your camera away from your face a little bit so that you can have, yeah,
Like this?
Yeah, like that, yeah, and let it stable in one place.
Okay.
There you go. Yep, like that. Yep. Good.
Okay.
Yep. Good.
So until this process starts, people will still be seeing pound as not a currency, but the dollar is the only currency. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, another thing too, I have a video of Honorable Ministry of Finance, Dr. Bach Barnabas Scholl. So he lined up what he will do and what are the challenges. And let me play this video, if you can, and then you can pick up from there. Let me bring this video up.
Dr. Bach Barnabas. I take this opportunity to call upon our minister, Dr. Bach Barnabas Scholl. Welcome, Dr. Bach. This is your people. This is your people inside and also your people outside waiting to hear from you.
Thank you so much. Please be seated. Please be seated. Thank you. Honorable Agog Makur Agog, our Deputy Minister of Finance and Planning, Honorable Johnny Ohisa, Governor of Bank of South Sudan, Honorable Atian Ding Atian, Commissioner General of National Revenue Authority, Honorable Dr. Dier Tongor, former Minister of Finance and Planning, Honorable Kwal Daniel Ayulo, our First Under Secretary, Honorable Benjamin Ayala Kayangwa, Under Secretary for Planning, Professor John Akecha Pruitt, our able Vice Chancellor of the University of Juba, DGs, directors, technical advisors, all our guests, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Without doubt, this is one of the most wonderful, colorful, and beautiful reception I have ever seen in this ministry. It gladdened my heart. I feel pleased and humbled to have been received in this manner. We know welcoming ceremonies are not for long speeches. They are for dancing, expression of happiness, congratulatory messages, and so on. But I want to say a few words as we wait for other occasions and other functions to interact and brainstorm in regards to our operations and performance within the ministry. I want to give words of thanks and appreciation. But first, to our Almighty God, our Father in heaven, for His grace, for His protection, and for His guidance. And more importantly, for facilitating my appointment. You know, I came here by the grace of God. Without God, I would have not been here. Praise the Lord. God is good all the time. Wow. I want to thank His Excellency the President, General Salva Kiir Mayardit, our beloved, selfless, and dedicated leader. Against all odds, he sat in his office and just decided to appoint a mere teacher from the University of Juba. On behalf of youth, I want to say, Your Excellency, thank you so much.
Ricky, you can't play baseball. You're going to wind up with an injury that you'll never get over.
We are privileged for this opportunity. I also want to thank the former minister, Honorable Dr. Dier Tongor, for his efforts despite the global economic conditions. And fourth, I want to thank the citizens of this country for their patience and their resilience during this economic hardship. And finally, to my employees at the Ministry of Finance and Planning, starting from the Deputy Minister, all the undersecretaries and DGs and technical advisors, for your commitments, your sacrifices to deliver the most needed services to our people in this republic. You know, in the last 2 days, I have been receiving text, calls, and people were coming to me. Among the 100 of text messages I have received, there was one text that captured my attention. Someone said, "Congratulations, Dr. Buck, but where did you come from?" And I think this is a good question. And you know, this fellow was neither questioning my ethnicity, nor did he intend to know the states of my origin. He's just curious to know my political background and my orientation, and perhaps my professional services too. He just wants to know where I have been. And how is it possible for someone at this age to be appointed as a National Minister of Finance and Planning. And this is a genuine worry or question or inquiry. Well, my friend, I'm a public servant. All public servants are not known in the public. I have been working closely with this ministry and the central bank for over 17 years in different capacities. I'm also an assistant professor at the School of Business and Management at the University of Juba. I taught many, including the former first and the secretaries, Honorable Ochum, Honorable Garang Majak. They were my MBA students, and many others that I have seen in the attendance today. So I'm familiar to those I have interacted with in these two sectors, the financial sector and the educational sector. I'm also an SPLM member. I have been for so long, for over 30 years. I have been a loyal, active member of the SPLM. So I'm neither a stranger to the Minister of Finance, nor do I need an introduction to the politics and the SPLM in this country. Nevertheless, let me say these few remarks just to highlight some important matters that I think deserve more attention than my height, my age, my color of skin, and all these sort of things. What matters the most is that I will serve you, all of you, without discrimination.
Okay, let me stop the video for a second so we can play it after we finish with you. Okay, let me finish. Okay, let me stop the video, and I will play after we finish because the video is 30 minutes long, and I know network over there is difficult. Honorable Acuil, can you later on, if network is issue, can you join me in the clubhouse? So that would be easy for you because the network. But
Okay,
before
we go clubhouse.
yeah, we can go to clubhouse. But before we go to clubhouse, this new minister is in his video because I will continue to play this video. He talked the good stuff, which South Sudanese like is his speech. He talked about the challenges and how this. What is my question to you? What will he make different than previous Minister of Finance that held this position? What he will do differently? Can he change the finance ministry? So can you tell us, can you hear me, Honorable Acuil? Can you hear me? Okay. You unmute yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, first of all, the minister was right to say during during the ceremony, it is not the place for policy statement. So he did not mention everything, but at least he mentioned the aspect of agriculture, aspects of production, so that an aspect of production is not only production for the sake of production, but also creating wealth. And it's this process of creating wealth and interaction that is where we have it result into taxes. It is these taxes that is supposed to be the source of the government financing. So we are very optimistic that the minister is already aware that the Minister of Finance and Planning, okay, Malith, but I have been seeing the Ministry of Finance and Planning doing three things. One, planning the budget, but not the South Sudan economics. Planning the budget. The other two things is the Minister of Finance was bookkeeping and cashier. They were not even financing the economic activities. So there was no budget allocated to support agricultural production or to promote industries like manufacturing and added value. So those aspects were missing. Being an economist, as we anticipate, as yeah, he has been a professor in the university. So we think when he connects with the banks, he will support the bank to make money, and the money, the bank cannot make money without transaction, not in trading currency. The other thing, they will meet with Chamber of Commerce, and Chamber of Commerce, the traders are not loading only dealership with the government, but they are trading, and they are trading governed by the Companies Act 2012 is talking about investing and transacting. It is not dealership with such a contract that have been done with the government. And such dealership cannot make economic growth, and it will not put money in the hand of everybody except those who are connected with some individuals in the system or in the ministry. So for sure, the minister will now engage the parliament, who will guarantee the sovereign guarantee. It will also engage with Bank of South Sudan, which is engaged in ensuring the financial economic policies based on Article 37 of the Constitution. So Article 37 of the Constitution or any provision in Chapter 4 of a revised peace agreement cannot be attended to the Ministry of Finance, which is doing bookkeeping and cashier, and which is only planning budget and not economics. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On Friday, last Friday, we have seen Parliament. They were having a discussion, debating. They were passing the bill of 2023 to 2024 fiscal year. So we have seen that SPLM IO MPs work out from the Parliament because they were the SPLM mainstream. They were introduced 400% salary increase for civil service, and also the SPLIO, they say they're demanding 600% to be increased for salary for civil service. So this is the debate we're going on, or more. So this debate we're going on Friday, last Friday, and they work out. But the same day, the Parliament came back and they passed the budget, which is 400% of pay rate, salary rate. So what can you tell us about that? Why is it lawmaker, SPLM IO and SPLM mainstream, they are disagreeing on this? They are disagreeing for the passing budget and the increasing of salaries of the workers, whether it's the civil service or military force in that payment. So what can the Ministry for Finance or the government of South Sudan to do to increase this? Why they are not supporting the SPLM-IO, their plan that they need to increase 600 instead of 400%? Thank you.
Abram, this is a good question. But also, you know that I am, my background, I'm a political concern, which means a political cadre. But my position now does not warrant me to talk politics.
Right.
Because I will violate my status. But let me put this way. whether SPLM-IO or SPLM-IO in the government and SPLM-IO outside the government and SPLM in the government outside the government, whichever, our people deserve even 1,000% increase. But even the 400% increase could become a disaster to South Sudan. I am here saying it as a responsible person that if the 400% increase is now affected, so you will be paying people by 8 a.m., 10 a.m., by midday, there will be no goods in Konya Konya, and the citizen will come back with the pound, throw it at your face. If the pound is not hurting you, they will use hujar, because at a hyperinflation will happen, and therefore the increase should be gradual. First of all, to have a market that is absorbing it, and also to have a responsible spending, that somebody does not get the 1,000 increase and finish them in the same day, because even the supply chain will not afford. And therefore, it is not responsible to put a percentage that could make hyper shock in the market. And I want the economists to question this. Therefore, it is necessary that we consider the 400%, and then the 400% also it is within the collectible taxes by the government of South Sudan. Not only that, even the bank notes to give out the increment of 400 or 500 or 700% increase, to give out salaries without putting some months in the bank account and putting the 400% increase in the hand of somebody who has been denied enjoying good salary, he or she will spend them in 2 hours. Which market will absorb this? So IO is good for them. They use it as a propaganda, which is okay. SPLM in the government can also use it as a propaganda. It's okay. But let us come to the reality. Where is your supply chain, and where is the responsible spender? The salaried South Sudanese person, instead of getting 10,000, is getting now 100,000 in the pocket, and not even in the bank. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. That is the one thing, as I mentioned, as I hear from Minister of Finance, that the government, because the system, and I want you to talk more about the payment system in South Sudan, because as you can see, when people are travel go overseas, they will use cash, like actually go to the bank and get dollars so that they can, but they cannot, like in the world of today, Honorable Acuil, the world of today, even here we will use, you cannot cash in your pocket. You use the card.
Yes.
You use your card, debit card.
Yes.
Okay? Or credit card. So then whenever you go, like for instance, if you go to Uganda, you will go to the bank and then you have a debit card, then put in the machine and then withdraw the money. But that's not the case in South Sudan. That's not the case in South Sudan.
But Abraham, let me cut short.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am a general in SPLM. Did you expect me to bring the payment system from Bilpam where I went to fight? What is your role here as educated citizen? Now I know only one card by the time I'm talking to you now. Now you are showing me two system, and then there is the third system which is electronic. So those are things we have to learn, and it is up to the next generation to educate us. But everybody who want to educate us want to ask us two things: go home, you have fought, or get away from J1. That's
Yeah, this is the world, Honorable Acuil, the world is changing. And the South Sudan
yes,
should
should
be
change.
yeah, it should be the man of the country to get that change that coming to the country. But that's
Absolutely.
not the case. We are the government of South Sudan is still dwelling in the past.
Are you saying should or we now have to do it through
We have
the
to
amendment bill?
we have to do it. And if the government
Through the amendment bills.
yes, absolutely. And if government don't have people capable of doing that, they should allow the people who have experience
Okay.
so that they can come in and use
Good
that.
question.
Yeah, go
How
ahead.
do we allow? You are now supposed to come with your expertise to help the Chamber of Commerce without you being a trader, because you know the knowledge. You want to have the Chamber of Commerce. You have to help also the bankers. You cannot say close the bank and I have the alternative. You cannot say close the ministry or get away from the ministry instead of you bringing your expertise.
Yeah, there are people. Government did not open the door for these people to come in. If the government of
Uh,
South Sudan open, because we have 1,000 people of South Sudanese in diaspora who educate, they have bachelor degree, master degree, or even PhDs. So, and they can come in and help the system.
how do you want them to come in, Abraham?
They can come in by through, like the government of Southern should have a network and partnership with these people that where they are, they can locate it, they can send their delegate either in the United States or Australia or Canada or Europe and identify these people that got a degree.
Abraham,
Okay, we need you.
Abraham,
You need to be
Abraham,
you need to come
you
home.
are still, you are still calling us Southern Sudan people,
Yeah, we are South Sudanese people, yeah.
but not Southern Sudanese people.
Right, South Sudan people, yeah.
Okay. Now, it is true what you are suggesting. Instead of South Sudanese rally abroad and form their societies or body to bring us investment,
Hmm.
they are instead throwing stones and giving bad name to South Sudan, that the people like Acuil, people like the minister or Governor Ohisa, Nene Shayapin. Now, how do you want the rest of the world to work with us?
It's not a bit, but there will be a killing over there, out there, criticize the government. But that's not the people over there need. Bring these people in, and they will change. Once they see the system is changing, and there's a good system in the government, all this critic will go away, and that's
You
what
are
they.
welcome. You are
And
welcome.
yeah, can you talk more about the payment system in South Sudan?
I'm not the right person to talk about payment system, but
Okay.
the best payment system is that salaries are supposed to be sent to the bank account. And then also we have to have financial transaction or use cards to pay. So then the same with trade, we are going to use the bank for international settlement and what we call corresponding banks and commercial bank of South Sudan, and then the Bank of South Sudan to pay to underdo the transaction. It's not cash paid. So that is how I just take it crudely. Accountants and financial economists will come and tell us more details. So the amendment bill should be mandating this. Any person carrying 10,000 US dollar is a crime.
Right. So
Yeah.
what? Okay, so we talk a little bit more about the budgeting that Parliament was approved last Friday. They approved like 2 trillion South Sudanese pound, 2 trillion of South Sudanese pound. Is this payment, this money are going to which section, sector in the government? Is it for only civil services or seven or paying like others government?
Okay. For me now, I will not give you the breakdown, but even that figure, when the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning suggested the figure, and then the Parliament approved, did they approve the envelope where the money is going to come from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where the money come from actually, and I want to ask you a question regarding about because as you know, South Sudan economy depend on oil.
No, actually, the oil is not for me, is not for us, is not for the next generation, is for more generation and generation to come. We are supposed to to ben, to learn from it, use it, put it back with more value. That is responsible governance. So the ongoing system of getting the South Sudanese income and we distribute it and then we go and pay and leave it abroad is not a responsible system.
Okay, thank you. Yes, and my another question, which is will be so that I can let you go because it's getting late about that. Yeah, the payment system right now, which we are dwelling on, uh, and you see, like the Minister of Finance, the new minister is coming in. He mentioned a lot because I will play the video. I don't know if you have a good network, so that this video, I want to finish this video because
Now, I've listened to it live and I'm very happy to listen to it again
okay, I will
because it's
definitely play.
inspiring.
I want to play with it. I want to play again so that you listen and then you can respond because he mentioned a lot. Because then, yeah, go ahead.
You can ask me about those about the question because I have listened to it live
Okay,
and I'm listening to it always. So if you remind us of what you want to ask so that it become interactive.
okay. So what I want to ask you about the response of the Dr. Barnaba. He talked about the way how the leaders within the government how they use the money. Okay, he mentioned about how people are buying this big car. So, and these are the costs. And also, he talk about the private sector in South Sudan, which they don't give the government the budgeting what they make per year, for instance. They don't do that. So what can he do? All of this, and we see, and I will ask you another question about the response of because you can comment about the response of General Leo, because there's a
And Abraham Awolai.
and Abraham Wadid. Actually, we will bring them live. Abraham Wadid and Honorable Leo live next Sunday, on Sunday, this coming Sunday, so they can pay. So,
Okay.
so the Minister of Finance, the new minister, what do you think? Can he deliver what he said in that video? Can our leaders can comply with them, or he will face opposition within the system?
And any change is resisted.
Okay.
And for sure, first of all, we don't have vibrant private sector. We have dealers, So our traders who are getting contracts from the government, they are doing dealership. They are not doing trade, and they will not be connected to the government without having their powerfully engaged. So the Ministry of Finance has to empower the private sector so that the renaissance of the private sector, according to Chapter 37, 166 I and 166 C, 166 J of the Constitution. And I have mentioned them in my presentation. And Chapter 4. Now, those things were not working. So those groups will be affected. And if they are affected, if the minister does not stand up and the private sector through the Chamber of Commerce does not stand up to deliver, then the minister will fail. So I'm not surprised. It is not only South Sudan where change is resisted. So it will be resisted, but if there is a political will, of which the president promised us, because I went in a swearing in, we discussed. And this, by the way, this is nomination number 6 for me to accept. I have been rejecting nominations to work in the executive. First of all, I'm not a job. If you are ready for stealing, that anything that I'm going to steal in South Sudan, you will cry for the next 10 years. It's not a job. So I don't steal out of principle, not because I'm rich. So yes, I accepted the responsibility because I saw hope in me becoming happy, and I can look into eyes of my children and tell them that this is what I am doing. It is not that getting money is bad. It can be bad the way I'm getting it, but definitely let somebody come and tell you they are more honest than themselves. I'm only scared. I'm not honest. I'm scared of my sumabutai and my mental capacity to live on something stolen. So I need money. Yesterday I went for a meeting, and on my way back coming to the meeting, I fell because I slipped, because I was going through really difficult road of Juba. I almost had myself, but I'm a sportsman. But if I get a chance of getting a Toyota or V8, you think I will resist? I will not. So if somebody is giving me a V8, I should be also conscious that he is benefiting 3 times than when he has given me. And if I'm
Okay. Yeah, he pros put on the network. Let him price up his network, and then he can come back. Isaac, please try to. Yeah, he's pros, so the network over there, he probably can come back. Anyway, thank you, guy. Let him. Probably you can be back. So while we're waiting for him to come back, while we're waiting for him to come back to complete his statement, let me continue with the video that I was trying so that you can go ahead. If he come, and then we will.
I will never question your ethnicity, your religion, your beliefs, or anything of that kind. I'll treat you equally without exception and offer you just your rights as you deserve, including your salaries, your dues, and every coin that you are entitled to. and not only within the ministry, but across the country. You know, our president, Salva Kiir Mayardit, is so much concerned about your well-being. And he is so much disturbed about the economic conditions you, all of you, continue to face. And he wants to rectify those conditions. And that is why he instructed me and my team to bring about reform and change in this ministry. A total paradigm shift that will continue to facilitate the government to build a solid foundation for economic development and progress. And in this transformational process, there are minor things that we will have to automatically drop or eliminate on the process, like the delay of salaries, nepotism in reassignment or deployment within the ministry, lack of incentives and rewards for hardworking employees, random issuance of checks and cancellation on the process, and the bribery some of you charge against approved financial claims, the 10% or even now 40%. We will have to eliminate all these bad habits and open new doors of opportunities for all. My fellow citizens and employees, regardless of our tribes, our ethnicities, and our regions, we are citizens of this country. And I believe we are not relocating anywhere at any given time, maybe until Jesus comes. So we have a shared obligation to build this country honestly and responsibly, just like our forefathers who sacrificed and dedicated their energies, their talents, and their lives to advance this country safe and united for us. We have an obligation as a generation. You know, in most cases, people blame government for not building schools, building roads, maintaining security, and it is true.
Let me stop the
Hello?
video.
Yes.
Yeah, hello, yeah. Can you hear me? So yeah, finish your word.
Yeah.
So
So
okay,
it
what?
got disrupted.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. So now, let me because you have a network issue, so I want to speed up. My next question. Let's go to the debate, the audio of General Leo that is roaming
Yes.
is training in the social media, and I see that Usas Abraham Walish, member of PCCA, wrote 5-page long to respond to that, and then I see Honorable former Secretary of President Tanyuela, they were going back to back debating on this. So what is your intake? Because Honorable General Leu mentioned very important thing, very honesty, and people love what he said. So what is your remark on that that audio from General Leu?
I am not surprised from General what General Leo said, and I'm not surprised that General Leo can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have two issues. One thing, General Leo was sharing disappointment, and General Leo was alerting us of the problem. But General Leo didn't do two things. He didn't suggest the way out, and he didn't tell us what did he do when he was when he was the governor. What could he tell us now? If he goes to Warab, he would say, go and find this and this and stop one of the things that I have mentioned. That's my so yes, General Leo is saying the real thing. One of the real things that he has also mentioned in another social media trending, he said that we're destroying this country. So yes, it is true. Me, and my colleagues, when we came to Jebel 1988, the first mission we did was to destroy Kubruluri, but now we are building it back. We have even attempted to destroy Kubrijuba. It would have been a problem on us. When we came to Eastern Equatoria, we destroyed all the bridge people of that Biora Sweat, Mahmoud, who were playing radio SPLA because Kabare Kulu Kasaro. But when we came after 1988, 1889, and 2005, we suffered. Okay, did we destroy them because we were bad? So we should now come and tell us what is the way forward. Now, Abraham Aoulik was celebrating the woes of South Sudan. Abraham Aoulik, I can't blame him, but definitely when he was in such institute, they were having weekly review and their issues were taken seriously. That's why he was taken to be in the Secretariat of South Sudan National Dialogue. So when he really confirmed the challenges of the challenge of South Sudan as stated by the people through the South Sudan National Dialogue, he turned it to be a political agenda. He didn't even come up with solution. He didn't ask people in the national dialogue, or he didn't come to people like me or other people that this is the problem. He jumped and he want to change everybody in J1. Okay, let him try. Ahlan wa sahlan. So I don't know what is the General Aleo, and he's a doctor because he's an engineer, agriculture engineer, General Aleo. Let him tell us that he has shared his disappointment. So what is the solution to South Sudan? Hopelessness, despair, fear mongering, or hopelessness? Where do we go from here? It is okay. They have said it right. He is not wrong. He said it. But did he come with a solution? Did he tell us what if he tried his solution? That will be my interaction with him if I am on him online. But I cannot talk now while he is not there. Even Abraham, I will ask him that Abraham, it is true, people express disappointment on the two principles, Victoria and General Salva Kiir, that they are the core problem. Are they the core problem? Can we give them also a solution to the core solution? It's okay. So everybody in the freedom of expression, the way they want to do it, welcome. Salva Kiir and the Korea are there to answer him. But for me, I'm not convinced. If he comes today to vote, I will vote for Salva Kiir and the Korea to be in the government.
Okay. So thank you.
That is a surprise to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Actually, you mentioned that what is the solution will General Leo can give. If he criticize the government, because I see when you are inside the government, you will be silent. You will zip your mouth. You don't want to say anything. But if you are out of the government, you will open up and talk to the citizens. But honesty, honesty, tell about what's going on, what's going on wrong in the system, and the change. It's not.
Okay. Did you read?
Yeah. If the General Leo say those remarks, which is as true, and you confirm those are true, why not the government is acting into it, so that if there is something going wrong in the Ministry of Finance system, why the government is changing what's going wrong, instead of person who come with his opinion when he sees going on in the system. Yes, go ahead.
Can you do justice to me? In my presentation, I presented assumptions. And my assumptions, I mentioned some of the challenges, and those challenges I mentioned them that are not external. Some are in the government where I am in.
And how the government
Can
can
you
fix.
settle that?
So how the government, my question,
I
how the government
mentioned it.
can fix.
That is the purpose of my presentation.
Okay.
That is I have come up with a solution. I'm
Mhm.
not criticizing. I'm identifying the problem. I am part of the problem, so I have to be part of the solution. Go to my assumption.
Okay. But
I'm
the
even
question,
putting the bank here red.
so the question, will this solution, this will be achieved?
Yes, if they are not achieved, I will resign. I promise you.
Okay, thank you. That's I want to see, because why? Because the reason why I'm pushing you so hard on this is because we have seen for the last few years, we have seen ministries coming in and go, and there's no changing in the Ministry of Finance, and the economy is going into the drain. You see, and the people of South Sudan are sleeping like they said, like they eat one meal a day. Okay, and because of the economy, and the cost of good at the market is skyrocketing. When the dollar when the
It's
South Sudan
wrong.
going up, when the dollars South Sudan pound going up in dollars, and the prices are going up, and when
Okay.
the dollars rate going down, the price is still going up. It's still up. You see. Uh,
Okay.
my next question regarding about, yeah. You want to say something before I move in, because I have some people in club. I want to ask you a question too.
No. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please.
Okay. My last question: the opposition, that who are criticizing the government, they are saying that they are asking why the government of South Sudan always appointed, appointed only one tribe in the Ministry of Finance. They even listed all
Yes.
the name that they former Minister of Finance. They said they are, most of them, they are coming from Barkazal or Upper Nile. Why is it? Why is it the non? Why the President Salva Kiir Mayardit only appointed the Minister of Finance from Pacific area? Do you have? Can you answer that for me?
Okay. I'm very sorry for that. And
And Nile for two, Nile for those
number
two,
one,
two Nile,
number
Nile.
one,
Mm.
number one, in the Ministry of Finance, there come twice. There were non-Dinka ministers, or three: Changston, and then Kostimaniba, and then who else? It was Sabuni. So now, during the non-Dinka or non-Equatoria or non-Upper Nile, was there any difference? No. So the problem is two: attitude and then lack of the systems. And the system is one we are trying to establish now. Dr. Black may be lucky to succeed, not because only himself, okay, his attitude is one thing, but the most important thing is the system, through the payment system and wealth creation is not put in place, and procurement is done in a proper way, then we are in trouble. Now, Article 36 of the constitutions of South Sudan talk of unity in diversity and inclusivity, that any government must reflect ethnicity, regional diversity. Otherwise, it is illegal. If it is an institution or from one region or one ethnicity, it is illegal. But do we have the constitutional court to challenge anybody? No. So it is not acceptable to be dominated by one region. It's not based on the constitution, and it is not based on the liberation ideals. So where did it come from, and why is it allowed? It is allowed because of the condition we are in, the so-called power sharing. And the power sharing is being imposed because we have come with mentality of violent liberation into violent politics, so that those who are actually in the government are only the belligerents. It is me, we the commanders. Now the system is supported by those who are benefiting from it. And this should not be the case. The media should shame us, shame those who with bad attitude, and those who are actually investing in the weakness of the system in South Sudan to politicize. Aleo and Abraham Awolej and Hall House are politicizing our weaknesses. They don't even have agenda. What is their political agenda? They are talking about weakness. What is their option? So I don't want to talk politics. Can you take me back?
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. So I will. Thank you. So we let Isaac. You can give a chance to people in Clubhouse, so they can ask questions.
All
Because
right.
yeah, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Abraham, and thank you, Honorable Acuil. I have two people in Clubhouse who have questions. Comrade Thontat, the mic will be yours. You can just yep, Thontat is asking you a question, and we have number two will be Attack.
Okay.
Yeah, Thontat, go ahead.
Okay.
Appreciate the chance given to me, and I greet you, all the members here, and the guest of honor here. Yeah, my question to you, Penyash, is that why do government give out contract and they don't follow to see how is the contract being done? And in addition to that, why the government employ the ministers, and when they stole the money, the government fire them from the job or make them resign or lay them off, and they are not going after them to seize their assets or make sure they get what they stole from the government. Why the government keep doing that over and over after minister, from minister to minister, and they are not going after their assets and seize them? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Thontat. The next question will come from Attack. Attack Ngor. You will add in your questions such that Honorable will write them down and will respond you respectively.
And why only Dinka? Now you tell me.
Everyone. Thanks so much for bringing on Honorable to speak with us and to give us some of his insight. I have a couple of things that I want to ask. Honorable said before that the dollar printing is, or the dollar, the selling of US dollar is the problem. But the selling of US dollars has been there for a while, and I don't know whether if this is the attitude of the government, that the problem of South Sudan economy and the reason why we have inflation is because of dollar. Then this is just the beginning. Really, it's not the end. It's the beginning of what's to come, because the problem is not the dollar. The problem is not the dollar. South Sudan is engaging in financial engineering through, increasing the money supply by printing money. That's what's actually leading to inflation. It's the printing of money. There is more South Sudanese pounds available, 2 years ago. So I know Honorable is on the board of the Bank of South Sudan. Why is the Bank of South Sudan printing excess money? Because you cannot get inflation if there is no increase in the money supply. This whole thing about like the dollar, the people bring in export, all this stuff, this is just bogus.
Is it from my side only?
An exporter who's operating a business in South Sudan, if they go to Kenya to go and buy things, they cannot use South Sudanese pounds.
Talking, yeah.
They need
it was breaking
US,
before, but it's okay now. It's talking.
Kenyan shilling. But to get Kenyan shilling, you need to actually convert US dollars to become Kenyan shilling. South Sudanese pound is not the global currency. US dollars is. So I don't know how the government can blame businesses who are importing things into the country, who need US dollars. You cannot go to China with South Sudanese pounds to buy products from China or Qatar or wherever. You can't. You need US dollars. So how can the Honorable blame selling of dollars and not actually say anything about the excess of the increase of money supply, basically printing more money in circulation? And I guess also how much money in circulation today? That's my other question for the Honorable as well. How much money, South Sudanese pound circulation today in circulation?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Attack Ngor and Tontat. Honorable Acuil, the mic will be yours now to respond to them.
Okay. And by the way, why Tontat and Atangor all from Dinka? You are complaining before that we are employing all Dinka in Ministry of Finance. Okay, it's not for answer now. Now talking about attack, the last questions about the blame of the use of dollar. No, we are not blaming the use of dollar. We are actually identifying that the lack of banking financing of the business has resulted into people hunting for dollar in the market. That thing is going to be something of the past in some months to come. If the bill is applied, if the bill is amended, and the Bank of South Sudan is in charge of monetary policy. Early on, the Bank of South Sudan didn't have control over monetary policy or payment system or regulating the banking system in South Sudan. So I hope if that is satisfactory to you, then it has answered your questions. We are not blaming, but we have identified as a problem. We are not going to stop dealing in dollars, but we will control the payment system so that the South Sudanese pounds has its equivalent value locally, regionally, and internationally. And it's going to be done through the newly amendment bill 2023. Coming to Tontat, I think it is justice is militarized. So if politics is militarized, justice is militarized, economics is militarized. Now, how you follow up of somebody who has killed people, who has left, and then you agree with them to come to govern, and you want to account them that he has killed people. because he has already acquired the status not to be us and is enjoying entitlement and privileges and protection. So if somebody has stolen money and he has joined the opposition or ready to join the opposition, if you follow them up and the agreement says that we have to stop talking of the past, who are you? So let the permanent constitution come in, and I want Abraham later on to ask me my view about the election 2024. If the permanent constitution comes in, the permanent constitution will be overriding all the agreement among the belligerents. It is only the way. But if somebody has stolen 1 million and went abroad, and we agree next month so that they come, and I come and raise the question that he has stolen the money. If somebody has stolen the money and is keeping the money in a bank account in America or in Europe, and if I go after them, they will be saying that it is terrorism. I will be stopped from following that person. What do you want me to do? I should focus only in cutting losses, reducing more damage, and stopping the past problems until the permanent constitution comes. Accountability will start even with the people who have died. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Honorable Acuil. There is a question coming from Clubhouse from Usas Tom. Tom is asking you that.
I heard that his building is the one that being run by the U.S. Embassy, and he's still getting money. And yet he stole the money and rebelled. And yet his business is operating in Sudan without it being confiscated. In addition, there's Amara Bugula Amara Patabagan in Juba operating, making money. And that I said is not being seized by the government. The money is based on extradition. If our country where someone stole money and kept the money in that country, our government should approach that country and say, look, this person here stole the money, and the money is here in the account in the country. We need this money to be wired back to our country. Otherwise, there have to be a threat that if there's anything later on, if the country refuses to cooperate with our country, then we will do the same thing later on if someone from their country ran to our country with the corruption. And I believe our government should work hard to do that. But my problem is the asset of this general who stole money and rebelled, and their business are operating, making big profit in Juba, that funded their rebellion. Why the government is not taking action upon all this building by seizing them and sell them? Thank you.
Is it my time to answer?
Yeah, take this question with you. There's another question. Yeah, there's another question come from Tom, who says Tom. He's asking you that my question to you, Honorable, what are we using to back up our many values?
Yes.
So you can go ahead. Oh, he's pausing actually. Okay. Isaac, are you talking? We cannot hear you. You mute yourself.
Yes, I'm talking in the clubhouse, but I mute myself in the other end for you. I'm saying that if he, when he comes back, let wind it up and put on the invitation to carry on with us in clubhouse rather than using the video, because the video is consuming a lot the internet, and we know internet of Juba is really annoying.
Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
I was saying.
Absolutely, yeah. Let him come back, and then we can go back to Clubhouse so that you can answer more questions. But while we do that, we will.
The last point that I about what I just said.
Okay.
Can you repeat that attack to Abraham Adit?
My question was on top.
Oh, yeah, says you attack. Yep.
I said, if he come back, repeat what I was saying. I was questioning him about the building these business of this general that rebel stole the money and rebel in the country, and their businesses are still running in Juba without being seized by the government. That was my question. But if he come back, yeah, we you guys clarify that to him so that he can answer me. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay, Isaac, check in Clubhouse in if he come in the room. We will let him know that he joined us in Clubhouse so that he can continue with the discussion there. Meanwhile, Isaac, I will go ahead and play the video. When the video finishes, I will close down the studio.
All right, then. No worries. Yeah.
Okay.
True that these are core responsibilities of an independent government. But what is your role, if I may ask? What is your role as a good citizen? What is your role as a good follower? You are supposed to produce, you are supposed to pay taxes, and you are supposed to spend even your private salary consciously. Remember, a government can't be strong or realistically generate enough wealth unless its citizens are productive, are honest, and are hardworking. Because it is this individual production that is aggregated to what we call GDP. So I believe this is the right time for economic transformation. I'm here to join hands with you and all the relevant institutions in this country, including the think tanks, universities, independent experts, and donors to bring about change in the Ministry of Finance and Planning. We will reach out to everybody and shall install suggestion box in my office for complaints and compliments. You know, contractors are tired of our 10% in the ministry. People are tired of budget deficits and overdraft. While many are going hungry, lack of medicines, clean drinking water, rough roads between states, we need change, and it must be now. Let's promise our people quality services, and let's strive to build a strong, sovereign national wealth that will benefit all of us. Let's work hard to transform not only the economics, but the conditions of our country. Let's improve our living standards and thrive to build a strong working economy for all of us. You know, we can be one of the fastest growing economies, not only in East Africa or even Africa, but across the world. If we unite, live in peace, eliminate corruption, and equitably share our
Okay, I'm here. I'm back. Huh?
Okay. Okay, Honorable. I feel we can go to Clubhouse. So before we go there, let me ask you the final question regarding about election. So, and then I send you a link to join us in Clubhouse so we can continue the discussion. Okay, regarding about the election of 2024, you know, the opposition, they are claiming that they say that there's no election and no extension in 2024. And also too, when a few months ago, when SPLM IG went to WOW, that may raise a lot of questions regarding that. They say that why does SPLM IG are doing a campaign and they are not allowed other opposition to do so. So can you give us your perspective regarding upcoming election? Will the election of 2024 will take place or not? Thank you. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself, Honorable.
In the clubhouse.
Yeah, we will go. Yeah, come to Clubhouse. Answer that question, then we will go to Clubhouse.
Okay, for me, I have a different. I'm not supporting what the government is saying. I'm not supporting what the opposition is saying.
Okay.
My option is like this. The next elections, we should go for parliamentary elections only. We give the South Sudanese constituencies as we can agree through the round table and the National Constitutional Conference. We agree on the constituencies. And when we agree on the constituencies, we allow South Sudanese to send their representative, not the appointed MPs, to come and pass the legislation, to come and legislate the permanent constitution. Now, what do we do with the presidency? For me, I don't support elections in the presidency, because if we do elections in the presidency, any defeated person will cause us post-election problem. So the presidency is a place for people to be accommodated and eat. So why voting people to go and eat? We just reconstitute the presidency. We balance the states, the greater regions, and we balance the gender. So the region which is less represented in the current presidency, we should add whether gender or male. And then we don't take out anybody from the presidency. The 6, you can add in 3, or add in another 6, or add in another 3 based on regional balance. And when you do it regional balance, you can bring one woman from Margazali, and if you bring a woman from Margazali, will not be a Dinka, because we have already Hussein and Salva Kiir. If you come to Equatorial, you can bring a male and a female, because they don't have a female. You have a female in Upper Nile. So you can bring one male from Equatoria to add to Waniga. If you want to put more, make them 12. I don't have problem. Make them 18. As long as they are a reconstituted presidency, so that they become the stabilizing factor. Yeah?
So you said that you want to increase the number of vice president?
Reconstituted, yeah, vice president and senior advisors, and all these people like Acuil should be made senior advisors, so that we don't cause problems.
Okay. So
okay.
If I get you correctly, you're saying that now government of South Sudan have 5 vice president, and the president
has 6, have president and 5 vice presidents.
We 6. And also we have more than 600.
Yeah, so
we have more.
We don't have more 600. You can bring more 3.
Okay.
Or bring in more 6 to become 9, or become 12, or become 15. The way you people South Sudanese want.
But that will be, that's a very huge government, and it will be affect the economy of the country. If you can see, if you say
what is Abram? What is affecting more? Is it the people who are being given salaries, or people who are fighting, killing people, and preventing us from growing? Is it war more expensive than paying the belligerents
What I'm seeing
for
here,
another 3 years or so?
so what I'm seeing here, even though the government adding more vice president and more MPs, and it's still the issue will not be solved in South Sudan. Okay, so
The problem will be solved if we have if we have MPs who are elected by the people, and also the parliament has to be tricameral, because national council of traditional authority leaders has to be there. The chiefs have to be in the national house. The chief has to be in the state house.
So where will you get the money budget to pay all of this?
The money we are buying guns now, we put them for people to eat for another 4 years, so that the constitution can determine the model of elections and model of presidency.
Okay. So what about these people that are supporting the election 2024? If the election take place, it will reduce the number of vice president, reduce the number of MPs.
You reduce the number of vice president, and you increase the number of the rebellions.
And there is still going on right now. Even though you increase, even though you increase the number of vice president and increase the number of MPs and other sector in the government, the rebellion is still going on. People will rebel because even even the people that president degree them out from the position, they will go and rebel because they want to come back into the system. So why don't the government?
And then their chiefs, their chiefs, and their MPs and their people will be asked to meet them. The chiefs. Why Malong is not in Acuil?
Why? Because he's in exile.
If Malong is rebelling and is in Nairobi only and is not rebelling in Acuil, and if I rebel and I'm not the people in Twitch don't accept me, well, what will be the impact of my rebellion? If the Shuluk has come, you have seen when the king came to Juba, you can see how many people coming back to Juba.
Okay.
Acuil, kada jib Salatin fi Juba, jib kings fi Juba, or jib MPs betam fi Juba, and we all go to their areas and we call the rebellion to come to their home. If he's making noise outside, it is not effective. Abraham. Acuil, that is not true. Lay Malong is not in Acuil.
Yeah, because Malong is having
simple.
Because Malong have his movement. He's a rebellion leader and he's staying in Nairobi. And
he has no foundation. He does not have foundation in Acuil.
But his movement is not only for Acuil though. So he's fighting for the regime change.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, regime change. He can come and fight in J1, but he will not affect any community. Any community will be producing. So anybody fighting for regime change is welcome. Let him come and fight for regime change in Juba, as long as he's not using guns.
Okay. So what you are saying that
he will not be fighting for regime change. He will be campaigning for regime change. It is acceptable worldwide. You campaign for regime change, it is acceptable, but not fight for regime. And we use son of other people to go and fight on your behalf.
Absolutely, and that's what we don't want, and that's why we supporting the election for 2024, right? But if you are not supporting election,
no. Asma, Abraham, you come from Lakes. Can somebody now rebel for Lakes and he goes back in Lakes and fighting the government of South Sudan out of Lakes?
No, we people of Lake will not allow them to come and fight.
Okay, so if the people of Bantu don't allow rebellions and the people of Gogrial don't allow rebellions, what is the meaning of rebellion? Now they will come here and campaign, not fighting. They can campaign for a regime change, which is acceptable.
Okay.
So the opposition will change. The picture of the opposition will change, and I want maybe next time I want to present the role of traditional authority leaders. You remember last time, 2 years ago, I brought this up. I'm still after it. Just give me 2 weeks. When we finish Calamity Abajada, give me 2 weeks and I will present to you.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you are saying that we need General Malong to go to Juba, we need General Pagana Mum to go to Juba, we need General Tamushira to go to Juba. These are the remaining
to campaign for they have a right, a constitutional right to campaign for regime change, but not to fight for the regime change, not to use the children of other people to fight for regime change. They can campaign and they can prepare for the next elections and make it miserable for people who are in the government through challenging them, but not fighting, not causing insecurity.
But what they are saying is that Juba is not safe for them. There's no political space.
Okay, then they can sit in London and start campaigning. They are welcome. They can continue to campaign as long as, but they are not even coming. If they are criticizing, that is not even a campaign. If they are sharing their disappointment, like Abraham Awulaj and other people are sharing their disappointment, you think these are the people who will change the government?
So now the election, you are not supporting election. So you are supporting.
No, I support the election with the new mentality that the only election for the parliament and no election for the presidency until it is determined by the House of the People, which include intellectuals, include politicians, include civil society, include the traditional authority leaders.
Okay. So
yes.
So what do you see now? Is it the election will not take place in 2024? Because we see that there's no census and also citizens.
No, not even technically. Not even technically, because they know if elections come, Salva Kiir will win. And if Salva Kiir win, and I know if Salva Kiir win and other people lose, other people will rebel, and so I don't support elections.
Okay.
Presidential elections, no.
Okay, so you are supporting the current system.
I support election for the parliament.
Yeah, and add more MPs.
And
which is
no. Add more vice president and presidential advisors, and keep them in J1. Give them zero grazing.
Okay, this will cost a lot of money, and there will be no development in South Sudan. There will be no road, no school.
But there will be peace. There will be peace. Don't worry. There will be peace. When there is peace, it will be a transition.
How peace will come if the
it will be a transition where
how peace will come if the citizens are suffering from hunger. There's no road and there's no good clinic for them.
How will they suffer?
Huh?
Can we leave this for the next? Can we leave this for the next? Because I have solution.
Government will not have money to do this other development that the country need, because all the money the government have, they will pay this MP, this vice president with others, so the money will go there. Because as you see, the economy of South Sudan depend on oil. So if the government is receiving this money and paying the vice president with their
so Abraham, your solution is fighting and development, not peace and development.
No, my solution is this. My solution: we need an election in 2024. When the election comes,
and if somebody who failed and if somebody who failed from election rebel, you will be forced to do another revitalized peace agreement.
The government have to face that rebellions and bring him that person to justice. The government will pay that person.
Yeah.
Why that person? Why that person?
Abraham, will you join that war? I'm not ready to join that war.
No, I'm not. I'm not supporting any rebellion. But what I'm saying here, comrade Acuil, I want the election to take place in 2024 because the number of the Bible.
Okay, let us leave it for another day. Let us catch up. Let us catch up with the clubhouse. We can discuss it alone, and then one day you come and interview me.
Okay, sound good. That's all like a plan. Come to Clubhouse, and a lot of people on Clubhouse are raising eyebrow. So they will have
Waiting for me?
Yeah, they are waiting for you. They are raising eyebrow.
Okay. So I go there?
Yeah, go there. Yes, go there. So go to Clubhouse.
What is the link?
I see in your okay. Okay, Isaac, I will let you go and control the Clubhouse. Let me finish this video up. Let me finish this video up, and then I will close down the
room. The show, yeah, the stream yard. Yeah, it's all right. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody's in the Clubhouse now. Bring them out.
All right.
Okay, I bring it up.
Okay, close this one successfully. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead and close. Go ahead, drop yourself from the studio, and I will close this one up. Okay. Okay. So before I will close down this studio, Isaac, I would like, here is my argument with the Comrade Chilmano, because my point is this: I'm not supporting like to increase number of vice president and other. It's really will cost a lot of money. We need to introduce the number of vice president, also reduce number of the MPs, because this way the government of South Sudan will have enough income so that they can do other development. So that's my point. So let me play this video from Minister of Finance, and then I will close down the room. So thank you guys for watching. And for those of you who are in Clubhouse, have a link, you can join us at the Clubhouse, so the debate will continue over there. Thank you guys.
Our national resources, we can be one of the strongest economies. As you may know, the main source of our political, economic, and even social instability is economy. The major source of all these chaos you see around is poverty. It is because we did not focus on developing our economic sectors. We have not chose to allocate sufficient budgets to agriculture, to education, and empowering the security sector. It is because we are poor and hungry. That is why people are killing themselves across the nation. I challenge you, if we provide food to everybody, no one will ever kill his or her brother. I want us to be realistic on budgeting and ceiling allocation. Let's tighten our financial system, and let's promise our people that there will be no corruption in awarding contracts to anybody. Remember, we can't be respected unless we are financially free. We can't even have a voice in regional or international forums unless we are financially free. And we can't even protect our borders if we don't have a strong army, a well-fed army, a disciplined army. And we cannot have all of this if we continue playing cards and dominoes along the roadsides instead of producing. I know the road to economic transformation will be too rough. I know I'll be called names. I'll be opposed. I may even be threatened to death. But I want to promise you, I will stand my ground. I'll try my best. I'll persist in pursuing a new path to economic recovery and reform. And I will do whatever that favors the majority. And people should understand that change is inevitable. And there is no right time for change. Change can come anytime. I believe the time may have come. You know, let's say enough is enough. Let's build our country. Let's put an end to this. We fought a very expensive war that devastated our way of life to liberate ourselves from oppression, from hunger, from rampant diseases. Let's build our country with dedication and honesty, and let's repair the broken hope of our people. Let's fight together for economic independence and freedom as we fought for our political emancipation. This is very important. Let's join hands. As a minister, I can't do anything alone. We have to work together. Let's work together to fix this chaotic black market, this high inflation rate, this high unemployment rate. And let's create a conducive atmosphere for foreign direct investment in our country. You know, we are too blessed as a country. We are blessed with natural resources, minerals, urban land, and anything that can make us so rich in a very short while. So instead of relying on generators, let's build our own dam. I want us to remember our founding father, Dr. John Garang, who once said, people see government as a heap of resources, and everybody want to get access to the resources to enrich themselves. This is a misperception. It should be the other way around, as he said. It is the people are supposed to be productive, strong and wealthy in order to make their government strong. I believe this is the time. This is the time to work hard, to eliminate bribery and nurture the culture of transparency and accountability. As I speak to you here, you may think I'm excited for being appointed as the Minister of Finance and Planning. And it is true. As I appreciate the opportunity, I'm so much worried. And there is a lot of anxiety in me. I'm thinking of my fellow South Sudanese living in Raja, living in Ye, living in Longoshuk, bordering Ethiopia. I think of those suffering and dying because of lack of food and lack of medicines. I'm thinking of those stranded in Rand and how to transport them back to their villages, those coming from Sudan, or how even to provide them a meal. My brain will not rest until I make sure I have something to pay our soldiers in our bushes, protecting us and providing us security. I'm so much worried here about citizens in Juba, those who cannot afford transport because of the fuel prices, those coming from Jebel Denka, from Munuki, on foot because of the fuel prices, or even those sleeping hungry because they don't have food because of the dollar prices. I'm so much disturbed about a woman giving birth back in the villages, but they don't have access to hospitals. I'm so much worried about our diplomats serving abroad, but have gone for years without payment. These are my worries. You know, the trust granted to me by the president is to help him and the government achieve economic and financial stability. Period. There is nothing beyond that. But how do we do it? We must first have an efficient revenue mobilization, and that is the task of NRA. We must then have an effective financial management system and economical spending, not just anyhow, but as budgeted. We should all be admired and inspired to do that, because that is an instruction from our president. You know, we will diversify our economy and put an end to our total dependency on oil revenues. We are going to embark on the most essential sectors of our economy, like agriculture, infrastructure, and even mining and manufacturing in the long run. You know, that is what I have come to facilitate. That is the mission given to me. And that is why in few weeks or even months, it depends on the policies of the ministry, I'm going to introduce what I have called Economic Emergency Intervention Plan. This is a policy intended to fix the foreign exchange market by providing essential goods to cap the skyrocketing market prices, and also accelerate the implementation of public financial management reforms. Through this policy, we shall also be able to facilitate food items to the flood-affected areas, to the drought-affected areas, and many other areas to rescue our people. We will work together with our colleagues in the economic cluster and the central bank, because part of this policy fall under the monetary policy to enhance the modalities of the implementation. Ya Jama, we deserve to live a decent life, just like the rest in the world. This is the time to give opportunity for production. Let's enjoy the fruits of our independence. I believe there is nobody that is denying us that chance. It is we, all of us together. We are all shareholders in making the conditions of our country unfriendly to us. And I will give you my view. If I give some of you, not all of you of course, 1 million USD, the first thing you will think about tomorrow is to fly to Dubai. You will brush in Dubai. You will sleep in Ankara, have lunch in Uganda, and people continue wondering why we don't have dollars. They will go and buy V8, V6, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and you continue wondering why we don't have medicines, why malaria, typhoid, and ulcers are so rampant in our country. They will do everything. They will go and buy mansions in Nairobi, in Colorado, in the United States, in New York, and enjoy life. And people continue to wonder why we don't have feeder roads, why we don't have hospitals. I think we have problems in this country to solve. And we will have to work together to rectify those. We should not be content with free things and luxury. This country is blessed with minerals, as I said, and we can be so rich in a very short while. And there are economic models of development. We can borrow internationally from those countries. And for these reasons, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to revisit our economic and financial management systems. We need to rethink how we utilize the little money we have. Should we continue to give them to our good spenders, the few? Or should we kindly and efficiently allocate them to produce goods and services within our land? That is a tough question. And that is why, as a minister, my work will not be merely to sign checks and giving approvals to the few. My mandate, rather, will be to plan, to organize, to control, and supervise a working economy for all. We should all be aware of how volatile the economic indicators are, from high inflation to a thriving black market, joblessness of our youth. We need to expedite and accelerate the process of economic transformation, because there is no time left. If you are 50, you want to enjoy life. If you are 60, you also want to enjoy life. If you are 20, you want to enjoy the rest of your years. Who does not want to enjoy life? But we cannot enjoy life if we don't have quality services offered by the Minister of Finance. And the reason why I said we are shareholders in this, let me explain further. You know, we support other economies so much. Integral economics, economics is production, distribution, pricing, and spending. If you spend 90% of your income in other countries, in Uganda, in Nairobi, in Ethiopia, in New York, for your family to pay rent, to pay school fees, and enjoy life, what do you think will happen to our pound? Because all of these people converge to Juba town by the end of the month to look for dollars to buy so that they can send abroad. That is the problem. And that is why the burden is not the Minister of Finance. It is our behavior, the way we live. And that is why I said, let's rectify this together. And people should understand that economics is a science. Economics, I cannot order the black market or even the foreign exchange market to come down. But I have to facilitate the market, play all sides of demand and supply so that the market can stabilize. And if the factors of production are land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, technology, organization, what are we good at as South Sudanese? We may have arable land, yes, but unutilized. A huge amount of unskilled labor that needs training. We don't have capital. We have very little proceeds from the oil. We don't have entrepreneurs supported by the government. We also don't have technology in our production system. Ulisanas buona sogal iktisad magiraba, iktisad mamashukois, wazir malia makois. But we are not utilizing factors of production. That is the problem. If you want us to grow, let's go for agriculture. Let's use technology to produce our food. And let's train our entrepreneurs and support our private sector. Ya jamaa kalam ta dollar. Da masuliya bita kullu zol. Kalam ta value ta SSP is our collective responsibility. We have dollarized our economy. Betariga lana mabarfo. Baron. Yani masalan, ita indak bet fi Gudele, fi Munuki, wala dukan fi Sukjuba, wala Haisaura. Wita tugul bet bitai bi $10,000. Dukan bitai bi $500. You are forcing the tenant to go and look for dollars so that he can pay you. Now, who is the problem? We are the problem. The Minister of Finance or the central bank. We should not dollarize our economy. And that is why we are going to introduce policies that will discourage people from looking for dollars. If you are going to Kampala, for instance, or Nairobi, we will give you shillings because you don't need dollars to go to Kampala. You just need Ugandan shillings. And we are also going to discourage people from buying luxury cars, V8, V6. And I was legit V8 the jazz. Lokan khalone baraya na biji pato. Because these expensive commodities are very costly to our economy. V8 is tamamu sameh, but very expensive to our budget. And that is why I'm going to increase, together with the Commissioner General, we are going to increase tariff on luxury goods and commodities. Lano anena dari nijibu akil lena sejani. Ma muzid man V8 or V6 lena sa dari yartah ziyada. Another thing also is to digitalize our payment system. If you are going to buy products from Turkey, from China, from India, we will facilitate your payment, my brother or my sister. You don't need to carry cash in planes. Kalamta cash when central bank has to be stopped. It is shame to see people traveling with the stash cash in planes. Let's be modernized. Another thing is these financial claims. You know, even before I was appointed, people were coming to my offices at the University of Juba, Sukjuba. Nanwana in the office. Nas buguli akhi lo jibuta wazir maliya baden alagala de claim bitai. Saidana. You know, claims da nena lazim nafatish tariqa smart kida. nidam albomo. Lanu indeed it is a burden to our economic growth. Fi claims taban genuine. Fi lakin fi claims tanima genuine. So we need to work together to verify, validate, and thoroughly investigate all the financial claims so that we can budget for the genuine claims. I know I'm a hope of millions of youth. I want to promise you, my generation, that I will do my best to support your businesses, your education, and your prosperity. I'll try my best. The companies, private sector, nena gari no kore gal ma fi gurush. Lakin private sector, they don't publish financial statements quarterly or annually or semi-annually. We don't even know how much they make. How do you tax them? We need all the private sector, all the companies, and we have thousands of companies in this country to publish financial statements so that we can know if you are making losses or profits. Nas kulu indum companies be back bas. Company alma bi shekelu nas. We need companies that employ people. If your market capitalization is 100 million, you should have more than 200 employees, South Sudanese. Low market capitalization betak 50 million, then you should have adequate number. As I conclude, I want to promise you, my employees, a friendly cooperation with a conducive atmosphere for operation and a long-lasting united family of the Ministry of Finance and Planning. Remember, we are the heart and the backbone of this government and must be the best team ever. I want to reiterate my deepest appreciation and thanks to the organizing team, to our artists, to my family, to all my brothers and sisters who came to jubilate with the ministry at this particular time. I talked much, but that is the nature of a teacher. You know, we even forget time. So bear with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate, and I'm looking forward to cooperating with you in this transformational period. This is a transformational phase. Thank you so much.
In Juba, Malatori, hey, I'm you, in William. In Benti, wala kwaju, hey, wow, in William. In Malkal, wala pinyaram, in William.